Okay, we're going to get started with our Summer is Here kit. And for this one, we suggest Ruby, Dandelion, and Dragonfly Powder Puff Chalking inks. You can really use any blue, yellow, red. You can even add in some oranges. So it's totally up to you. You grab the chalking inks that work for you. And we are going to get started. So I have my die cuts punched out here. And the first thing that I'm going to do is get my two background papers, and the larger circle goes on the first page. The one that's slightly smaller goes on the second. And you can see here your little flourishes go on at the bottom there, about ½ an inch from the edge of the page and about maybe a ¼ inch from the bottom. And some of this is kind of covered up, so if you get it slightly off, it's totally fine. And the cutting diagrams, I'll show you here. Get my stuff in order. So I accidentally cut the blue one before we even got started here, but it's a very easy. I got started and didn't realize I wasn't recording, so I had cut my blue paper. But what you want to do is just put your blue 12x12 paper in, cut out a 5x7 out of any corner, 5x7, and then out of the paper that's left, you turn it and you cut it at 6½, 6½, and then you turn it this way and cut it at 4½. So then you have two 6½ pieces, 6½ by 4½ inch pieces. So after you cut your 5x7, put this in at 6½. It's a bigger piece than this. You cut it at 6½, turn it, cut it at 4½, and then you'll have some left over too. So two 4½ by 6½, and one 5x7. And then we'll cut the coral piece. Which is this. So we'll cut the 4x6s first. So put it in at 4 inches and trim. And then you turn that and cut it at 6. Once you have the two 4x6s, we'll do a 5½ by 7½. And that can come out of anywhere on the paper. So I'm going to do 5½ this way. And you have plenty of paper, so you can cut it any way you want first, but you have a good chunk left over. So there's 5½. Turn it and cut it at 7½. Okay. The only other cut you need to make is you have a 3½ by 11. So you put this in. I trimmed this earlier too. So you put this strip in and you cut it at 5½. And you have two 5½ by 3½ pieces. Once you have those cut, you can get your trimmer out of the way. The only other thing that you need to cut out, in which I I just fussy cut these words and little banner pieces out. You can use the trimmer if you want. I just use the scissors to fussy cut those. So once you have those, you'll have a 5x7, blue one that's just slightly smaller, and a yellow that goes on top of that. You can go ahead and glue those together. And this goes just about here. The great thing about this one is there's plenty of room, so if you have a landscape photo, that will also work. On my instructions, I have it with a photo going this way, but you can definitely turn it. And you will have, with what you cut out, a blue, coral, and yellow that goes over the top of that. You can go ahead and glue those together. I'm going to put them on my page, but I typically don't glue these down completely until I have my photos in and I know exactly where I want them. I'm just going to place them for now, just really quick. Just kind of eyeball it from what is on the instructions. And then from there, we are layering up our circles that we punched out of the die cuts. The smaller circle, the smaller white circle goes on page 1. And see, I think I'm going to move this over a little bit. So these circles are actually meant to be frames. So you can put the white part back in like we did if you want it just the color and decorated there. You could chalk it up and make it whatever color you want, or this is actually meant to be a frame. So you lay this on your picture, you draw a line around the outside, and then when you cut it out, you cut just inside on the photo, you cut just inside that line so it fits just behind this. Oh, you know what? I'm doing the wrong side here. Move this. So this goes this way. Your frame goes here. And it's totally up to you where you want to put this stuff. I'm doing it just like the directions, but if your picture takes up more of the photo mat here, you may want to move this over so it doesn't cover up as much. And then to finish off this page, you have words that we're going to just put a little, we want to show about an inch of the little tab. This one goes in closer to the photo mat. This one I put out just a little further, just a little over an inch showing there, and it comes out and it's a little bit offset. This one shows about an inch and goes back in a little bit. And once I get these placed right where I want them, then I'll pick them up and glue them down. We have two little tags here once you have your photo in there. There is little brads that go on the top of here, and then this gets put on just like a little pocket. And don't forget to chalk things up as you go if you want to. I added some, it's called Summer Days, a bright yellow around there. The red looks really nice on the coral, so if you're using ruby, it really brightens up the coral. You can also use an orange on that. Okay, and then over here, same thing, put this over your photo, cut out your photo so it goes behind this frame. And then we just have little embellishments to add once your pictures are in there. If you haven't cut out your embellishments yet, this one I would cut with some white around the edge so that it's easy to glue behind there. If you've already cut it out right at that orange, that's fine too, because what you can do is just put this down, glue that down, then just glue your circle right over top of it. If you don't have any space around there to glue it to the ring. And then from there, we're just layering up. Actually, you know what? I'm going to put this over a little bit further so we have room for our tags, our little banners. From there, we just add the quotes where you can. And we have a leftover blue. You can add this anywhere you want, or not at all if you want. It's just extra. So once you have everything cut out for this kit, it's really, really simple to put together. But it's kind of fun because it holds lots of pictures. Between the two kits this month in June, I think it holds like 20 pictures between this kit and the other. So I hope you have the best summer pictures to put in here, or you're making some memories this summer and adding them later. We hope you enjoy the Club Q kits this month, and we appreciate you being a member. We'll see you next month.